Shalom Aleichem, everybody. The shir is going to be an Asicha, Shavuos, Tafshin and Aleph. The last Sicha that the Rebbe said about Shavuos, the Sicha was called Torah Chadasha Meiti Tetzei. New Torah will come forth from me. So, first of all, just start. Where is this lashon from? So lashon is really starts from pasuk in Yeshayahu, right? Yeshayahu, which is Torah Mi'iti Tetzei. It doesn't say Torah Chadasha. It says Torah Mi'iti Tetzei, which is also about it's a prophecy about the Geula over there, and it's found also in this pasuk is brought down in a Midrash Rebbe in Midrash Vayikra Rebbe. And it says over there about the whole situation with the Leviyasan and the Shor HaBor. Basically, that there's going to be this whole event going on, and there's going to be the Leviyasan and the Shor HaBor. The Leviyasan is going to stab the Shor HaBor is going to stab the Leviyasan with his horns, and that should be kosher. It's not too problematic. But then it says that the Leviyasan is going to shecht the Shor HaBor. This big fish is going to shecht the ox with his fin, and they ask the Midrash, is this a kosher shchita? And because it says that they bring down the Mishnah that anybody can shecht with whatever object, as long as there's certain rules. It shouldn't be like this or like that. Shouldn't be jagged edge, right? Because it strangles the animal. It causes harm to the animal. So the Midrash said, it quotes this pasuk from Yeshayahu that Torah. And it says the word Chadasha over there. It kind of it adds the word Chadasha, Torah Chadasha Mi'iti Tetzei, that a new Torah is going to come forth from Hashem, and we're going to see how it's a kosher shchita. How seemingly we have a problem with the knife, with the fin of the Leviyasan. Doesn't seem to be kosher, but it says that in the Midrash that the Torah Chadasha Mi'iti Tetzei, that there's going to be a Torah Chadasha, that we're going to see how this is actually a kosher shchita. We're going to eat from the Leviyasan, from the Shor HaBor. We're going to eat it. Huh?
The plate is going to change. The chalif is going to change. What's going to change?
We'll see. Okay, we'll see. But yeah. Good. Okay. So one other very interesting matter is Yilkut Shmoni, which the Rebbe quotes here. In the beginning, he says that Asir HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yeshev v'Derish Torah Chadasha She'aseh B'li Tein Al Yidei Moshiach. So Hashem is going to sit and he's going to expound Torah, a new Torah that he's going to bring, that he's going to give in the future, that he's going to give through Moshiach. So the fascinating midrash over there, it says Kel is it doesn't matter. Basically, it says Omrim Amen, Shomrim Amuna, something. Anyway, a midrash says in Yilkut Shmoni over there that the Eibishter is going to be sitting in Gan Eden, and he's going to be saying a Torah Chadasha. And at the end of the Torah Chadasha, the angel, I think his name is Zerubbabel ben Shaltiel. I think that's the name of the angel. It says is going to say Yiskadal Yiskadash. And I guess it's going to be heard from one end of the world to the other end of the world. It's going to be like a really powerful. And all the people of the world. And when the Eibush is sitting there, it says that all of the neshamas are going to be standing in front of him. And like the sun and the moon and all the tzaddikim and angels are. He's going to derish Torah Chadasha. Then this angel is going to say Yiskadash Yiskadash. And then everybody's going to say Amen, and then it's going to say also the Rishoyim in Gehenna, and also the non-Jews in Gehenna are also going to answer Amen. And that Amen is going to cause like a rash gadol, like a really powerful like noise. It's going to like shake up everything. And the Eibishter is actually going to hear it, and he's going to be like, "What is that? What is this rash gadol?" And I think the way it goes is that the Malachei Asharis ask him. They say that it's the Rishoyim in Gehenna, and he goes and he tells the angels Michael and Gabriel, he gives them the keys of Gehenna, and he tells them to go open up the gates of Gehenna, and they go down there and they go to Gehenna, and they open up the gates, open the roofs, but the Rishoyim, they're not able to go out. So it says that they go out and they pick each one up by their hand, and they take them up to Hashem, and then they start praising Hashem. But anyway, that's the whole midrash. I just thought it's a fascinating midrash. It's not necessarily nogea so much to what we're trying to go with this year, with the idea of understanding what Torah Chadasha is all about. But it does say that over there, the Eibusher is expounding Torah Chadasha, and then there's like this siyum, I guess, Scottish and Amen, and it's like, the whole Gehenna opens up, But just to go forward, so the Rebbe speaks about two different dimensions of Torah Chadasha. So one is about the secrets of Torah, which are going to be revealed through Moshiach. And the other dimension is about halacha, that there's going to be the Shor HaBor and Leviyasan, that, like we just said, that it's going to be kosher, so there's going to be like a chiddush in Torah. So first of all, the first question the Rebbe asks is like, first of all, Torah doesn't change, right? So like how that's something, bar mefurish, the Torah is eternal, it doesn't change, you can't subtract, you can't add, right? He also, so we see that there's going to be changes in halacha, so that's the question, like how's the Torah doesn't change, what is going to be changes in the future? And also about the revelations of the secrets of Torah. It says Moshiach is both chacham, like greater than Shlomo Melech, and he's going to be a navi, close to the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. It says that Moshiach, how is he going to receive this? It says that the Torah Chadasha is going to be revealed through Moshiach, right? So how is Moshiach going to reach this Torah? How is he going to learn this? How is he going to learn this? Right. So there's two dimensions, right? He's a navi. So this is the Rebbe goes in and explains basically about what is a chiddush in Torah, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu received the whole Torah from Har Sinai, right? But he didn't receive like every single detail of every single law. He received the rules. So through those rules, anybody can come in and learn using the rules. They can learn a chiddush, right? We're supposed to learn chiddushim using the rules of Torah. So any law that you can learn based on whatever you have in Torah and using those rules, that's already part of the Torah that was given to Moshe Sinai. But you just used the rules and you brought it out. But it was possible to bring out that this chiddush that a person came up with. It was there and it was possible to bring out. It just happens to be that this neshama came down to the world and he learned it and he brought it out. It says that the secrets, the Torah Chadasha, the Mashiach is going to bring out, is not something which is accessible by the human mind. No human mind could ever reach it. It's something totally beyond the human intellect. Torah Chadasha me'iti takes it from the Eibusher himself, and that's why Mashiach is actually a navi. Right, because he is accessing this Torah in a way of nevuah. Yeah.
Yeah, because he remains.
Right.
He remains as a human being. The navi is to go sugar.
Right. So Mashiach is he's going to be able to access this Torah through nevuah. It's not this Torah Chadasha, the secrets of Torah that are going to be revealed. Mashiach comes is not something that is possible to learn with whatever Torah is out there. It's received in a way of nevuah, but because Mashiach is a chacham gadol, he's going to be able to take that nevuah and bring it down into our seichel. So it's not going to remain in a state of just higher than seichel. It's actually going to come down into seichel, right? And that's so the Rebbe brings down different things about, first of all, Lubavitcher Rebbe and Navi is not allowed to be mechadish davar. And so that's what he's going to say, that this idea of a chiddush. So we said that. So we see that the Torah Chadasha is really part of Torah. It was part of Torah, but it was not able to be revealed through the intellect. There is a dimension of Torah which was given to Moshe at Sinai, but there's certain parts of Torah that are accessible to intellect. There's certain parts of Torah that are not accessible to intellect, so it's only going to be able to come down through nevuah. So, okay. Okay. So one thing the Rebbe mentions over here is that says that some Mefarshim try to say that the idea of the Leviyasan Shor HaBor, the Shechita of the Shor HaBor, is like a Hiras Shah. The Rebbe says no, that's really not the case over here, and he says that really the Chiddush is that the law there's a law there's a halakha. You're not allowed to shecht with this kind of knife. It's a puzzle shechita. If you shecht with the fin of a Leviyasan, it's puzzle, right? Saying what's the chiddush is that really that halakha was not really had nothing to do with this situation. This situation, meaning that had to do with a particular situation when the shechita with this kind of knife would be puzzle, but the situation of the Leviyasan Shor HaBor is not talking about that situation, and that's basically the chiddush that's going to come out that Moshiach is going to teach that Shem is there's Torah Chadasha, that it was never look at Kila speaking about this kind of shechita. That so really, it's funny because then the question of the midrash, because it says well, it's not a kosher shechita, right? But it's not Torah Chadasha mititetse. There's going to be a chiddush that this actually is a kosher shechita. It's not that it's just it's really usher and they're going to be mutter like a hiras shah that right now we're just going to make this mutter for no. There's a chiddush that the laws of the shechita we're never speaking about this case, and it's not something that it was usher and it's going to be mutter, but I mean it is usher nowadays to get shecht with the Leviyasan seemingly, but anyway, okay, so the way I'm going to do this is the Rebbe brings 3 different examples of the change in halacha. And how this all has to do with Torah Chadasha mititetse. So we have Beis Shamai, Beis Hille. We have the Arei Miklat, the Haisaf of 3 Arei Miklat, which is from the Torah. It says in the Torah, and then also the Shechita Shor HaBor. So these 3 different changes. The change of the halakha that nowadays we go by Beis Hille, but when Moshiach comes, it says in various places, mainly Kabbalah, I believe, that we're going to hold like Beis Shamai. So what? He brings down a few different places, but I believe it's Arizal and. I think so. It could be somewhere else as well. That's what I saw somewhere. So there's a connection, first of all, between the Sodos of Torah that are going to be revealed in Moshiach and the change in halacha. These are the 2 dimensions that are going to change when Moshiach comes. That we're going to have this new revelation of Torah, which is like totally beyond seichel. But Moshiach is going to reveal it through Nevuah and bring it down into seichel, so we're going to understand it. And that is going to also, that's connected with the change in halakha, which is because we understand the secrets of the Torah, and because we have access to this deeper dimension of Torah, we're going to be able to, we'll in various, like with Beis Hille and Beis Shamai, we'll be able to pass differently. We're just going to go one at a time, I guess. So what's with Beis Shamai and Beis Hille? Okay, so Beis Shamai, Beis Hille, so obviously everybody knows Beis Hille is more makel, Beis Shamai is more machmer, and there was a certain time when a baskol came out, and it said both of these are the words of Hashem, but the halakha is like Beis Hille. So the question is like, wait a minute, we're supposed to paskin according to the majority, right? I mean, why do you need a baskol, right? They said because Beis Shamai were smart, they were very smart, so it was questionable what the halakha should be, because Beis Hille was the robe, Beis Shamai was sharper. But they said no, we go like Beis Hille. And one second. Oh. Okay. So first of all, there's a midrash that talks about how when Hashem gave the Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu, he gave him like 49 reasons why it could be kosher and 49 ways that it could not be kosher, right? He Meaning every single thing in Torah, there's ways to look at it from both sides, right? So how do you figure out what's the halacha? So you pass him like the Rov, so you go by the Rov, right? So fine. So the question is, how are we going to change it in the future? Why is the halakha going to be like Beis Shamai, right? So the answer is that the reason it's going to change is because we're going to understand they were sharper, and we're going to have the revelation of the deeper dimension of Torah. So we're all going to be on a much higher level. We're going to understand Beis Shamai. Beis Shamai was actually was sharper than Beis Hille. So we're going to understand his reasoning. And because they're going to understand the reasoning, they're actually going to, in the Sanhedrin, they're going to change the psak. Because the majority is actually going to hold like Beis Shamai. That's a simple, and this also has to do with a change in the human intellect. The human intellect is actually going to change as a result of the revelations of the new Torah.
What is going to change in the human intellect?
Then it says Netiya Sichlam, that they're the nature.
All of a sudden, the Netiya Sichlam will be to Gura and not to Chesed? Why? What does Moshiach have to do with being Torah to Gura?
It's not Gura, it's a Chedudit faith.
Huh?
The reason Beis Shamai is Chedudit, they're sharper. So now there's not so many sharp people, so the halacha goes according to the Rebbe. Moshiach comes to be more sharp people, the Rebbe will be sharp, will be Beis Shamai.
There is a connection with Gevurah as well.
Beis Shamai is still the Rebbe.
There's also a connection.
The Rebbe becomes more sharp, and automatically
the halacha
ends
go
up
Basar
on the
Ruba.
Shammai side.
Yeah, and
it's the same principle that makes us go against someone else, and makes us go Beis Shamai there.
yeah, fine. But he's going to mention also Gevurah as well, and later in the Sichum as well. But right now, that's because of this revelation of a new Torah. They're going to be sharper. They're going to understand the opinion of Beis Shamai, and they're going to make a psak according to him, because their mind is going to become much greater. I mean, because Moshiach is going to teach them, and all Yisrael are going to be Chacham Gedolim. They're going to be great sages, knowing Dvarim Stumim, etc. So he has some very interesting questions. Why by Beis Shamai we're going to be more machmir? We're going to take what used to be mutter, and now we're going to say it's aser. By Leviyasan Shor HaBor, we're going to say what used to be aser, we're going to be makel, now we're going to say that now you're allowed to, right? And also in general, when Moshiach comes, there's not going to be evil, there's not going to be so much evil in the world, so why do you have to be so machmir, right? Like the idea of being machmir is because you don't want to, we're going to discuss that, but similarly the idea of being machmir is to block yourself out from something bad, right? But here, we're going to live in a world where it's not going to be so much bad. So why do you have to all of a sudden be more strict? They were when Moshiach, before, right? Okay. So first, the Rebbe explains the source for changing in halakha in the Torah. Because in the Rambam's halachas over there about Moshiach, he brings a few things. He brings the whole Shabbat Shem Elokecha. He brings the pasuk from Torah about Moshiach. He brings the prophecy of Bilam, and then he says Arei Miklat. It says there's going to be an addition of 3 Arei Miklat. Right. So first of all, he says that really. So what is the mitzvah of Arei Miklat? If you just look at the mitzvah of Arei Miklat, one detail of Arei Miklat is that when Moshiach comes, there's going to be 3 additional cities. Right. So that's part of Torah. It's not just like something he did. It's not changing the Torah, right? But it's part of the Torah. It's part of the mitzvah. So that he says over here that it basically gives the geula, the strength and power of a mitzvah. And so you're not changing the mitzvah. You're really completing the mitzvah. Fine. So it's a part of the shleimus of the mitzvah. The geula, you're gonna have the completion of the mitzvah of Arei Miklat. So then he goes into the whole thing here about why we're adding Arei Miklat when Mashiach comes. Like, first of all, there's not going to be murder. There's not even going to be, he says over here, accidental murder. So why are you adding, what is Arei Miklat? Arei Miklat, a person kills by accident, and then he has to run away from the girl Adam. He has to go to the city of Miklat. He's saved over there. So he brings a midrash about the Eibishter and Adam Arishon, that he ate from the Eitz Hadas, so he brought death into the world. So that's why he was sent out. He was put into exile out of the Gan Eden, right? And that's like a kapara for his. That's like the idea of Arei Miklat is like you did the severa and now you have to go get this kapara. But fine. So basically, so says that that. So in general, the idea of Arei Miklat of murder is in general, it refers to any avera. Because any avera, basically, you're, so to speak, spilling the blood of kedusha, of the man of kedusha, meaning you're taking away chayis from kedusha, which I guess murder is like you're taking away the chayis and you're putting it into klipa, right? And the Indian of Arei Miklat is really like Torah. It says the words of Torah are koltin. Like miklat is kind of like koltin that they absorb or they protect you. So basically, saying when a person does an avera, so he has to now go to his Arei Miklat, which is the Torah. He has to go into the Torah. Why? Because there's a Goel Adam. Because the Goel Adam is a hara, is a satan, right? So because now he did an avera, now the Yitzhahara, the satan is going to try to go kill him. So he has to go save himself in the Arei Miklat. So he said. So basically, the idea of the additional Arei Miklat in the future. So basically, nowadays, there's six. There are 6 Arei Miklat, and those are corresponding to the Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, 6, right? So that represents basically refining the world. Refining the world and whatnot, right? He goes into a whole discussion here about there's 2 dimensions of Torah. One dimension of Torah is about refining the world, and one dimension of Torah is that it's higher than refining the world. He brings like Torah versus mitzvahs. Like mitzvahs are about having an impact on the world. Torah is more of like connecting to Hashem. So this is like the Nister versus Nigla. Nigla is beer, the world. Nister is more of connection to Hashem, right? So and that's the difference between the 6 Arei Miklat of Zman Hazeh versus the 3 new Arei Miklat in the future. So Arei Miklat really goes on Torah. The 3 additional, so the 6 were the 6 Sidrei Mishnah. The 3 new Arei Miklat are going to be like the Chabad or like Chachma B'nai Das, Pnimius Torah basically. And their Indian is not really to refine the world. Their Indian is that they're like higher than the beer. They're high. There's 8 Hadas Tovara, which is good and bad. It's refining. And then there's 8 Achayim, which is higher than that. So the new Arei Miklat, which is the Pnimius Torah. So basically, he says also that when Moshiach comes, at least in the first period, he talks about the first period of Moshiach, that there's still going to be an existence of evil in the world. Beer is going to be complete. There's going to be the separation of good and bad is going to be complete, but there's still going to be the evil in the world until later when Avir Ruach HaTumah Min Haaretz, when Hashem is going to remove the evil. But in the first stage of Moshiach over here, he says that this stage is, he says that the Arei Miklat are basically going to negate the possibility of evil from coming into poil, into actuality. Just like before the sin of the Eitz Hadas, there was evil in the world. It wasn't mixed in with the good, but it was possible that it could come out. It was possible that and it did, right? But when Mashiach comes, it's going to be these Arei Miklat, 3 Arei Miklat, which represents the study of Pnimius Torah, is basically there's going to be evil, but the Arei Miklat are going to make it not possible for that evil to come out and express itself. The simple shot of why that I found somewhere is that the 3 Arei Miklat is because people who are chayav and gullus for accidental murder will do their kapara at that time over there in the new Arei Miklat. But fine. How are we doing time? Okay. So that's Arei Miklat. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Now he goes into a deeper dimension of the argument of Beis Shamai and Beis Hille. It says that basically Beis Shamai and Beis Hille, Something that's for sure bad, they agree it's usher. Something that's for sure good, they both agree that it's mutter. Something that's questionable, it's like a middle ground. So the middle ground is that he says that is there in something that you're dealing with, is there potential ra in there? Is there potential evil in that thing? So if there's a potential evil in there, so it says Beis Shamai is going to forbid it because they're sharper and they're able to relate to this deeper dimension of reality. So they want to cut. Yeah, they want to cut. They cut that off, and through that they actually refine it. But Beis Hille, who are so the way they look at it is like, okay, there's potential evil here, but we could still lift it up. We're not connected. We're not so deep connected with the potential of it. It's not potential. It's in actuality, in Revelation, it actually looks good. It's just there's a potential. They aren't on such a high level. They can't refine that deeper evil, which is inside of there. So they say, if you can't push it away, you have to lift it up. That's what they. So it's if it's potential to bring something up, so you have to, and if you don't, that's bad. And that's why it says that when they paskined like Beis Shamai, it was kasher l'Yisrael kiyam shasa egel. Like the day that they made the chet egel, such a bad day. Why? Because through pushing something away that you could lift up, it says that you're bringing more chayas into klipa. So yeah. So that's what we're dealing with. Basically, we're dealing with this seemingly like klipas noga type of thing, where it could be used for bad. But so Beis Shammai would say like klipas noga are basically more machmer because saying it could be used for bad. We're and on their level they're able to keep themselves away from it and elevate it. But Beis Hille says, no, we're not on such a high level. We can't. If we don't use this thing, it's going to be put into the klipa. So we have to use it and elevate it up, right? So he's saying basically nowadays when most of the people are more closer to the level of Beis Hille, where we don't necessarily perceive the hidden evil, so therefore we're not allowed to push things up. We have to elevate whatever we can. But he says in the future it's going to be like Beis Shamai, because it says that we're going to change, the brain is actually going to change according to the situation of the world, like Beis Shamai, and everybody's going to be on a much higher level. We're all actually going to be on the level of Beis Shamai. So we're actually going to see things in a much deeper way. We're going to see reality. We're going to see this. We're going to be more careful there, and so we're going to be able to push off these things where it's even just a potential evil, and that's going to be through this revelation of the new Torah, which is going to negate the possibility of it. So that's basically, so actually when Moshiach comes, we're basically going to, because our brain is actually going to change, and we're going to be much wiser, much sharper. So it's like, we're going to be like more from basically. No, because we're not going to get so involved. We're going to be like more connected to Hashem. Fine. So then he brings the whole thing about Shavuos, Chag Shavuos, and how it's Yom Tavuach. He says that at that time, basically, they passed him like Beis Shamai. At one point, there was one time when they passed him Beis Shamai, basically by Shavuos. So the day after Shavuos, they called it Yom Tavuach. So basically, what happened was Beis Hillel said you're allowed to bring karbanos re'iyah on Chag, on the actual Shavuos, even though it's like it's not echol nefesh, right? They were carbon. It was a full. They burned the whole carbon, right? Carbon re'iyah. They didn't eat it, right? So there was a question whether you can bring it on Yom Tov or not, right? But Beis Shammai said that you're not allowed to bring it on Yom Tov, so they bring it the next day, and Beis Hille agreed with them over there, and basically brings the whole thing. Brings the whole thing over here about basically on Shavuos. They received the whole Torah, including Torah Chadasha Tetzis, so they didn't have to refine the Yetzer Hara, they didn't have to, but the next day they all brought it, and basically there's a whole story over there with there was like a spirit that wanted to kill the Yidden if they didn't accept the Torah, but then they ended up receiving the Torah, so they shechted the Yetzer Hara. The Yidden ended up shechting the Yetzer Hara the day after. But anyway, that's okay. I'm not gonna go into that one. But there's two more osiyos in the Sikha. But the last os of the Sikha is the most difficult or most involved, and it's kind of deep. Second to last os brings down also the heter of the. So he basically explains the whole heter of the Leviyasan Shor HaBor. That basically, who's doing the shechita? So basically, first of all, in general, in shechita, it has to be done through a person. If a knife just falls down and it checks the animal properly, it's possible. That's what he brings over here. So who's doing the shechita? So he says that the Eibishter, you could say that it's actually going to be done through the Eibishter. The Eibishter is actually going to do this shechita, and therefore you don't have the laws that apply to a human. And he says, you ask a question, the Eibishter does the mitzvahs, like we do the mitzvahs, you should keep the same halacha, but basically he just answers that a human is a bal gvul, so therefore he's limited, so therefore he has to do things in a very specific way in order for it to be proper to use and for Hashem, right? The Eibishter doesn't have any limitations, so therefore he can shecht it in any way he wants. He also brings a very interesting part that he says, why does that have to be a jagged edge with Hashem doing the shechita? So the inyan of shechita is to elevate, right? Like you're bringing the animal, you shech the animal so that he can be kosher. The animal should be kosher. Before it's not kosher, you do the proper kosher slaughtering, and now the animal's kosher. You can eat it. You make a bracha, and you can serve Hashem, and you elevate the animal up to Hashem, right? So the idea of shechita is elevation, is to elevate things, right? And so he said, why does Hashem's knife, the Leviathan's fin, have to be jagged? He says that basically we're talking about the elevation of the world. Basically, the Leviathan represents like the holiness and spirituality, Vadas Tzadikim, and the Shor HaBor represents like more physical, Bira Eilam. Basically, the Leviyasan, which is the spiritual, is going to elevate the Shor HaBor, which is the physical, the beer.
The Eibishter is going to be holding the knife.
Yeah. And so why does that be jagged? He said, because he says here, he brings down from Likutei Torah that tzarich lios hefsek b'intan, has to be a break. It's not possible, he says, to make all the aliyahs in one shot. Hefsek ben hekel lahechel. There has to be, in order to elevate from the bottom and the lowly world and whatnot, to become connected in the spiritual and all that, you can't just do it in one shot. He says there has to be like it's a process step by step, and therefore it says lachin yatir kadosh baruch hu pegimazu. Therefore the Eibishter will give a heter for this blemish. Okay, it's fine. So now he kind of at the end he basically the Rebbe ties everything all together. These three inyanim ties them together. And just before I get into it, I just want to just say what it is. The Rebbe is going to do is basically he's going to explain how these three things, this changes, is basically we're going to take something that was totally beyond and we're going to make it our reality, right? So that's the common thread that all of these three things have in common: the halacha like Beis Shamai, the Leviyasan, and the Arei Miklat. He talks about hasagas hashlila, and also is interesting. He talks about gevuras kadeshis that mitzvahs like mitzvahs loisa aseh are like higher than mitzvahs aseh. I was looking up on Chabad-pedia like the Hey Gevuras and Hey Chasadim, and over there it says that the Hey Gevuras are actually higher than the Hey Chasadim, right? Yeah, I didn't realize that because I was like, yeah, but that's I guess that's maybe why we say Yitzchak Avinu is going to be our father, but that's a higher level because it's the source of all these chalkus. But
that's actually more.
Yeah.
Yitzchak Avinu.
Right. So this is how he ties it all together. So, okay. So we say that in the future we're going to fulfill mitzvahs the way they are in their root, which is gevuras. And so this is like hasagas hashlila, which is higher than There's certain things you can understand, certain things you can't understand. The only way you can have any understanding of them, any kind of appreciation of them, is kind of like by understanding what they're not, and therefore trying to draw some kind of picture of what they might be. Beis Shamai, we can't understand that right now, so that's something. And also their whole thing is to be machmer. They're all into that's the gevuras. That's something we can't understand, right? It's Asagas Shlila. That's the level that they're on. They're on the level of Asagas Shlila. The way that they functioned was on a level of, they were on a much higher level. They saw Asagas Shlila. But we're going to, right? So it says again nowadays that since people aren't so exacting and careful, they see things the way they are in this world. They don't see the way things they are in potential. So nowadays we have to strengthen the chasadim and be to be permitting everything, and we can't forbid things. But when Moshiach comes and there's going to be a refinement of the good from the bad, we're not going to have to worry about the possible negativity. We're all going to be on a much higher level. We're going to be very precise, see things the way they really are spiritually. We're going to have like this sagas of shlila. We're not just going to, like chassidus nowadays, right? Like we understand it, but what do we really understand? Like there, I guess we'll have a much greater appreciation, right? And probably more than that, but for things that now they're like Beis Hille, who are on a lower level of sagas of chiyuv. So then we're gonna we're gonna be on the level of Beis Shamai, which is basically again bringing what's beyond us into our reality. Then with Arei Miklat, so he says that murder is like the root of all the mitzvahs Leviyasan, and it's like connected with gevuras, and it's also, and gevuras, kedushas, are this Indian of hasagas shlila. So bringing him back through learning Torah. So what we're going to do is basically you're taking Makas and Navish, right? You're adding 3 cities now. You're adding 3 cities for Arei Miklat. So you're taking something that represented things that were negative, right? The murders as connected to the Gevuras Kadeshis, which is Hashagas Shlila, but now we're going to basically be able to learn, because the three new cities are going on Torah Chadasha, we're going to be able to learn it, but we're going to be able to learn it, the Klita B'Pinimius, like Divrei Torah Koltin, that we're going to be absorbed, that we're going to be able to learn the highest levels of Torah, but it's not just going to be beyond us, like things that are today beyond us, we're actually going to understand completely and fully. That's the idea of Arei Miklat. And then he says also with the Indian of Shor HaBor, because basically what is that right now it's usher, which means that it's something that's not accessible to you. You can't eat it, you can't make it part of you. But when Moshiach comes, it's going to be kosher, and you're going to be able to bring it part of you. That's the same idea of taking something that was beyond you and not able to be brought in, and now you're bringing it in, right? So Beis Shamai, we're going to have a much higher level, and we're going to have it. We're going to actually. It's going to be our reality. With the Arei Miklat, the 3 new Arei Miklat represents the Pneumis of Torah, the secrets of Torah. But we're going to have, it's Klita. It's going to be a reality. Again, we're going to have it. We're going to live with it. We're going to know it, right? And then the last is the Chilas Shor HaBor, is that we're going to be able to eat this thing which used to be something that was beyond, something that was not allowed, something that was right, and now we're going to be able to elevate that. And just to conclude, so the last thing he says basically, this is the whole idea of what's the whole thing of Lubavitcher Rebbe. He says very interesting. He says that this Lubavitcher Rebbe basically represents the entire purpose of reality, because basically it's the idea of elevating the lower aspects to the higher aspects, and that's it. So just to he finishes it off here. He says, just say the last sentence. So it looks like a long sentence. Says that the Chiddush Torah, that even the highest levels of Torah, which is Me'iti, directly from Hashem's essence, which is unable to be revealed in our times, and we can only have Hasagas Shlila in it, is going to be Teitzei. It's going to come. It's going to go out and it's going to come down in a way where we can actually have hasagas chiyuv, we can actually understand it. Therefore, the Jewish people will all be great in wisdom and know the secret things and understand the Creator according to the ability of a person. As it says, the world will be filled with the knowledge of Hashem like the ocean, like the waters cover the ocean.
Yeah.
Thank you.